Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss about NSAIDs. NSAIDs is nothing but non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Coming to the definition, it includes analgesic, antipyretic and anti-inflammatory activities. Analgesic means which is used to decrease the pain, whereas coming to antipyretic means which is used to decrease the fever, and anti-inflammatory is decreasing the inflammation. Next, coming to analgesic, antipyretic and anti-inflammatory activities, inflammation. Inflammation is a protective mechanism which is used to defend against the microbes. That means external organisms or physical damage to the body. It is an immune response. While we are biting any mosquito or anything, immediately we will occur inflammation, or else we are feeling any pain in any area, then inflammation occurs. It is a protective mechanism. Next, coming to inflammation, important mechanism is prostaglandins. Prostaglandin is the main role in the inflammation. These are the products of long chain fatty acids. Next, coming to synthesis of prostaglandin. What happens? Synthesis fatty acid in diet. It is converted to phospholipids. In the presence of phospholipids A2. Phospholipids A2. And converted to arachidonic acid. In the main mechanism or synthesis of prostaglandin A2 is fatty acids in diet is converted into the phospholipids in the presence of phospholipids A2 and is converted to arachidonic acid. Here it is fatty acids in diet converted into phospholipids in the presence of phospholipids A2 and it is converted into the arachidonic acid. Arachidonic acid is having the LOX and the COX. COX is nothing but cyclooxygenase enzyme. Whereas coming to LOX means lipooxygenase pathway. These two are pathways which is involved in the arachidonic acid. COX, what it involves means COX1 and COX2, cyclooxygenase 1 and cyclooxygenase 2. Cyclooxygenase 1 includes prostaglandin, PG means prostaglandin F2, prostaglandin E2 and thromboxane A2. TX is thromboxane. Whereas PG means prostaglandin. COX2 pathway includes cyclooxygenase 2 pathway includes prostaglandin E2, prostaglandin I2 and thromboxane I2. Next, coming to LOX, leukotriene pathway, it includes leukotrienes. COX1 is present in blood vessels, eyes, cardiovascular system and stomach. Whereas COX2 is present in the brain. It is produced the inflammatory reactions. COX2. Next, coming to prostaglandin F2 synthesis. F2 alpha. It is synthesized to decrease intraocular pressure. That means intraocular pressure is mainly present in the eye. It is used to treat the glaucoma because it is acting on the intraocular pressure, so that it is used to treat glaucoma. Next, prostaglandin E2. Prostaglandin E2 is mainly present in the gastrointestinal tract. GI protection. It is mainly used as a GI protection and platelet function and kidney function. Next one is thromboxane A2. Thromboxane A2 is mainly present in the platelet functioning. That means it is involved in the blood flow. COX2. COX2 main role is fever, pain and inflammation. Next, coming to pharmacological actions of prostaglandins. First one is eye. Next, blood vessels. Eye includes intraocular pressure. Already we have discussed in that. Eye is used to decrease the intraocular pressure. That means it is used to treat glaucoma. Example, the drug involved in this is misoprostol. Next one is it is acting on pharmacological action of blood vessels and cardiovascular system. Prostaglandin E2, thromboxane A2 and prostaglandin I2. These three are involved in the blood vessels and the cardiovascular system. It is used to treat pulmonary hypertension and inhibits platelet aggregation to hemodialysis process. The drugs involved in the blood vessels and cardiovascular system is latanoprostol. The drug involved in the eye is misoprostol. Next coming to GIT. Next pharmacological action is GIT, gastrointestinal tract. In this, prostaglandin E2 increases the mucus production and decreases the acid secretion. What happened? Increasing the mucus production and decreasing the gastric acid secretion. It is used to treat ulcers which is caused by the inflammatory drugs. Next coming to uterus. Next pharmacological action is it is acting on the uterus. Prostaglandin E2 and prostaglandin F2. This increases contraction of the uterus. So when puberty, that means induction of labor and used in midterm abortion, it is used in the uterus. That means contraction of the uterus. Next, NSAIDs. Till now we have discussed about the basic topic of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, that is analgesic, antipyretic and anti-inflammatory. Next coming to the main topic, NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. These are heterogeneous compounds. These are having analgesic, antipyretic and anti-inflammatory properties. Classification includes non-selective COX-2 inhibitor, selective COX inhibitor and drugs having analgesic, antipyretic and anti-inflammatory properties. First class is non-steroidal COX inhibitor. COX means cyclooxygenase enzyme. In this, salicylates, propionic acid derivatives, anthranic acid derivatives, aryl acid derivatives, oxycam derivatives, pyrrolopyrin derivatives and pyrazolone and indole derivatives. These are involved in the salicylates. In the non-selective COX inhibitor, salicylates include aspirin and sodium salicylates. Propionic acid derivatives, the drugs include in that is ibuprofen and ketoprofen. Next, anthranic acid. In this, aspirin is very important drug which is widely used drug. Next, anthranic acid derivative is the mefenamic acid. Next, aryl acid derivatives, the drug involved in this is diclofenac. Oxycam derivatives, the drug includes is piroxicam and the meloxicam. Pyrrolopyrrole derivatives, that is the drug is ketorolac. Pyrazolone derivatives, phenylbutazone and phenoxybutazone. Indole derivatives is indomethacin and sulindac. These are very important and widely used drugs. Next, selective COX-2 inhibitor, which is going to inhibit the COX-2 enzyme, that is cyclooxygenase enzyme. The drugs involved in this is rofecoxib, celecoxib, ethanolac and nimesulide. These are the drugs which is involved in the selective COX-2 inhibitor. Next, third class is drugs having analgesic, antipyretic and anti-inflammatory properties. In this, first drug is para-aminophenol derivatives, that is paracetamol. Paracetamol is also most commonly used drug to decrease the pain or to decrease the fever or any pyretic activities it is going to be used. Next, pyrazolone derivatives, phylpyrazolidone. Next, benzoxicam derivatives is nesopam. Coming to the classification, there are mainly three types: selective COX-2, non-selective COX inhibitor, selective COX-2 inhibitor and drugs having analgesic, antipyretic and anti-inflammatory properties. The main drugs are aspirin and the paracetamol. Next, coming to mechanism of action of non-selective COX inhibitor. This is the first class of the NSAIDs. Salicylates, the drug involved is aspirin. Aspirin is also called as well-known drug acetyl salicylic acid. Mechanism of action. Already I have told that phospholipids involved in the inflammation mechanism. So that mechanism of action includes phospholipids. It is converted into the arachidonic acid in the presence of phospholipase A2. If tissue injuries occurs, if any tissue is damaged, then phospholipids is converted into the arachidonic acid in the presence of phospholipase A2 and it is giving the prostaglandin G2. And in the presence of COX, cyclooxygenase enzyme, it is giving the prostaglandin H2 and it is divided into subtypes prostaglandin E2, F2, D2 and I2. These are the subtypes which is included in the prostaglandin G2. Next, here what happened, this aspirin, this is the normal mechanism. tissue is damaged, prostaglandin A2 is released. Then this COX mechanism is completely inhibited. This aspirin go and binds to the phospholipids and the tissue damage occurs and phospholipase A2 is releasing and this COX mechanism is completely inhibited, so that no conversion of prostaglandin G2 to H2 and there is no release of E2, F2, D2 and I2. Prostaglandin synthesis is inhibited. Here the mechanism of action. Aspirin inhibits COX enzyme. So arachidonic acid does not convert it to prostaglandin. So that no conversion of arachidonic acid into the prostaglandin. So that aspirin role is increased in our body. Next, pharmacological actions which is included in the salicylates or non-selective COX inhibitor. Pharmacological action, first pharmacological action is analgesic. Prostaglandin A2 is mainly responsible for the produce of pain. It is helpful for producing the pain and giving the signals to our body. Pain. Aspirin decreases the prostaglandin E2. So that decrease the pain, it is called analgesic activity. Here what happens? Aspirin go and binds to the receptors and going to decrease the pain and relieving the pain. Leads to analgesic activity. Next, coming to antipyretic. Second pharmacological action is antipyretic. Body temperature, that is how the body temperature is recognized. It is by the thermoregulatory centers which is present in the hypothalamus. Increases the prostaglandin synthesis, increase body temperature and antipyretic inhibit prostaglandin synthesis. So that decrease body temperature. Our aim is to decrease the temperature and decrease the pain and decrease the inflammation. So that we are using the prostaglandin. Next, anti-inflammatory drugs. Aspirin inhibits prostaglandins, leukotrienes, histamine, 5-HT means serotonin. These all inhibits by the aspirin. So that decrease inflammation. It is in low doses. That is 3 to 6 grams divided doses per day. Next, antiplatelet activity. Next pharmacological action is antiplatelet. Aspirin inhibits thromboxane A2, leads to antiplatelet. Low doses is 50 to 350 mg micrograms. Cardiovascular system. If prostaglandin is completely blocked or decrease, then increase sodium. If the prostaglandin release is blocked or it is decreased in our body, then what happen? Increase the levels of sodium and the water retention and decrease urine output, leads to cardiac failure. If our body having increased levels of sodium and the water, then it occurs as the urine output is decreased, then leads to cardiac failure. In normal concentration, they give protection to the heart. Next pharmacological action is, it is acting on the gastrointestinal tract. Prostaglandin E2, it increases the mucus production and decrease acid secretion. Aspirin inhibits prostaglandin E2, decrease mucus production and it increases acid secretions. It is leads to ulcers. Next, pharmacokinetics. Oral route of administration, absorption from the upper GIT, metabolized in liver, excreted through urine. Aspirin crosses the blood-brain barrier and blood-placental barrier. BBB, BPB means blood-brain barrier and blood-placental barrier. These drugs will crosses these two barriers. Next, coming to adverse drug reactions. By using the aspirin more amount, it causes the adverse drug reactions. That is, first one is GIT, gastrointestinal tract. It causes ulceration, epigastric pain, abdominal pain, gastritis and GI bleeding. Next, hypersensitivity reactions. Hypersensitivity reactions is mainly seen in the skin. That means skin rashes, urticaria. It is also one of the skin disease, that is itchy skin eruptions. Next one is bronchospasm. Next, patient with glucose PD deficiency, phosphate dehydrogenase, that is glucose 6 phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency. It gives production to the blood cells against aspirin. This condition leads to hemolytic anemia. Next, in pregnancy, the next adverse drug reaction is during pregnancy. Prostaglandin increases uterine contractions. Aspirin blocks prostaglandin so that decrease urine contraction, increase risk of postpartum hemorrhage. Next, Ray's syndrome. Next adverse reaction is Ray's syndrome if aspirin is administered in children having viral infections causing hepatic damage along with infiltration, fat accumulation in liver, and encephalopathy. Encephalopathy means brain disease. Next point is prostaglandin usage of aspirin. Prolonged usage of aspirin involved in vitamin K function and also inhibits synthesis of clotting factor, leads to hemorrhage. Next, drug interactions. While we are administering the aspirin along with paracetamol, both will causes toxicity of aspirin. So does not administer the aspirin along with paracetamol. It leads to toxicity of aspirin. While what happened toxicity of aspirin, these adverse drug reactions will occur. Next, contraindications. Contraindicated in case of pregnancy, contraindicated in asthma patients and gastritis patients because it is increasing the ulcers in our body. Next, uses. Used as analgesic, antibiotic and anti-inflammatory like rheumatoid arthritis. It is used only in the mild conditions. In severe conditions, the other drugs will be used. Because in case of rheumatoid arthritis, there is an inflammation occurs. Then, while administering these drugs, the inflammation will decrease and the pain will decrease. The permanent cure will not occur by these drugs. Aspirin only stops the symptoms. Osteoarthritis. Osteoarthritis means inflammation of the cartilage. In mild conditions, it is treated by the paracetamol and in severe conditions, it is treated by the aspirin. That's it. Thank you.